year of the backyard summer, and we are celebrating it, hopefully injury-free. Let's face it, though, with summer activities like biking and rollerblading, you know, it comes along with it, the
We just
chance
had a
of a summer
conversation.
injury.
Should we get elbow pads if you're going to be doing these roller skates?
Oh, man.
Twin Cities Live reporter Kelli Hanson chatted with an urgent care physician at TRIA about avoiding the bumps and breaks and also how to ease our kids back into sports that maybe they haven't played for months.
With summer comes summer injuries.
Yes. And we've always been busier in the summer, and we've already been busy this summer.
Dr. Nick Edwards is an orthopedic urgent care physician at TRIA. He's also a dad.
It's been challenging, I think, same as everybody with the distance learning. Now we have summer, which has been nice to get a little bit of a break. But something that we've tried to do, and some days we're successful and some days we're not, but we try to build activity into every day, into the routine.
I'm looking out a window in my home right now. Kids on bikes, on skateboards, something called a rip stick. If you haven't heard of that, you will.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
So kids are out. They want to get out and they're playing hard. What kind of injuries are you seeing there in the urgent care?
We're seeing a lot of bike injuries. People fall and injure their shoulder, their wrist. Trampoline injuries, I've been seeing a lot of those.
I think now more than ever, people are buying them, getting them for their kids in their backyard to give them an activity because many things aren't open this summer. But I know firsthand, trampolines can be dangerous. My youngest broke an ankle on one, and I'm sure you see that a lot.
We do, and I have to be honest with you. I tell the same things to my patients. The safest trampoline is no trampoline, but they're a lot safer than they used to be. When I was growing up, there were no nets, you know, we were way off the ground. I can't believe we didn't have more injuries than we did.
Helmets. I can only imagine that you drill this into patients when you see them when they're injured or when you see a kid on a bike without a helmet. It's so important.
It is. It's critically important. And here's the thing. You can be the perfect cyclist and do nothing wrong. But if you're out there in the world and there's cars, you can't predict what that driver is going to do.
Team sports, we're going to see more of those starting to pick back up. And a lot of kids have been out of team sports this spring. What's your advice for parents and for kids that are trying to get back into those activities now?
The one thing that I would say more than anything is gradual return. And maybe even before things officially open back up, as far as practices and competitions, trying to do things at home, cross-training, to get people back into the swing of things, I think that would be the most we could do to prevent injuries from occurring.
Well, you know, it's funny, Kelly. We were recently having a conversation with my sister, Janie. She wants to get a trampoline to be the fun mom. And I thought, I hope you have good insurance.
That was a good point that he made. The safest trampoline
one?
is no trampoline. And Kelly, you have experienced this in your own house. And listen, let me just say, when we were growing up, I remember when I was in early high school, maybe 8th grade, 9th grade, we got a trampoline. No nets. No, nothing. One time it blew and bashed into the neighbor's house during a storm.
Right.
Yikes, is that what happened
Ours
for you,
wrapped around
Kelly?
a tree. Well, my personal experience is that 2 years ago, Quinn, my youngest, broke her ankle on our neighbor's trampoline. We were new to the neighborhood, and little Quinny came down the wrong way, and I thought it was a roll, and then found out that it was indeed a break. So we're real careful on trampolines now. We haven't ruled them out altogether, but we just make sure that she's being watched and all the kids are being watched. Like Dr. Edwards said, just make sure there's like an adult outside, making sure there's not too many kids on a trampoline. But he also mentioned helmets.
Helmets on a trampoline?
No, on bikes.
No.
Oh.
On bikes.
I was like, have we lost every sense of joy?
No, on bikes.
Soon we're going to be just wearing them across the street.
Well, you could.
I know what you're talking about, though, Kelly,
interesting.
because you're seeing the same thing I am, which is our kids always wear a helmet. Our rule is those wheels don't move unless you have a helmet.
Ours wear helmets too.
That being said, sometimes they don't fit so good, and we already had a kid who, one of our kids, I forget the name, but went down and hit its head on the ground, and it was like, whoa, good thing we had a helmet on.
It can be really, really scary. This last week, Paige, my oldest, took a major spill on her bike. I was in front of her. She was behind me. She tucked and rolled. Now, she had a helmet on, but the helmet wasn't on right, and it flew off of her head.
Ooh,
now,
yikes.
luckily, she's okay.
Yeah.
But she didn't have it on properly.
That
She
fit
had her hair
matters.
pulled up in a bun, and then she had the helmet on. So you got to make sure it's on
Yeah.
and that it fits.
Kelly,
Okay.
true story there.
That's
Hey,
good.
all 4 TRIA urgent care locations, by the way, they're all open. Bloomington, Burnsville, Maple Grove, and Woodbury. Walk-ins are welcome 8 until 8.
Isn't that good to
7
know?
days a week. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And they're following social distancing guidelines. So maybe next time one of your littles has a sporting injury, that's where you go.
Or if you get whiplash on a roller coaster made for children, like happened to me.
That's where you
I
went.
had to go to TRIA in Bloomington.
an adult.
We've posted location details at twincitieslive.com. We want to say a big thanks to TRIA for sponsoring Twin Cities Live. But Kelly, before